The 2018 Heisman Trophy winner is Kyler Murray of the Oklahoma Sooners. That is now 2 years in a row an Oklahoma player has brought home the hardware. Now, I don't have an emotional tie to Alabama, Ohio State, or Oklahoma. I don't have a tie emotionally to any of these three players. I'm just a college football fan looking in at my perspective after seeing these three players play their respected season. So I think they got it right. I'm not complaining at all. You look at what he accomplished this season, Kyler Murray, and 12-1, over 4,000 passing yards, 70%, over 70% completion percentage, 7 interceptions to 40 touchdowns, 892 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns, and he was just a very successful player on the most elite offense in college football this season. Him and Lincoln Riley were just phenomenal. They were hard to stop. They just really had a powerhouse offense, and he was the leader of it. The argument was Tua. I think those two, Tua and Kyler Murray, were closer together and closer to fighting for this trophy than Dwayne Haskins. And that's not knocking him. We will look at his stats after. But the argument for Tua, not just number-wise, but he wasn't playing in fourth quarters because he was so good that he didn't need to. Also, playing in the SEC with realistically harder defenses compared to the Big 12 and the Swiss cheese D, if you will, that they get knocked for. Does Tua get hurt and penalized based off the fact that his numbers are smaller because he didn't have to play as much? Because his offense was that great, his team was that great. Now, looking at Tua's numbers, 13-0, over 3,300 passing yards, 37-4 in touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had 5 rushing touchdowns, 190 yards rushing, and when it came to his completion rating, 67.7. So, before this came down, the news came down, I had a feeling Tua was going to win just because of how powerful that Alabama has been all season and him stepping in and having like a Tim Tebow-like season. He was the face of college football. Something told me he was just going to win. He was he had the highest amount of votes for a runner-up. So that's saying a lot. But I think that really just shows the world how much of a dogfight it was between Murray and Tua, and how Dwayne Haskins wasn't as involved as we thought. I was shocked when I saw the numbers on the screen. Haskins really didn't have that much of an opportunity in the voting. But you look at his season, the 400-plus yard games, the 6 touchdowns against Michigan. He had a very successful schedule, and you can't knock him for it. 12-1, over 4,500 passing yards. And I honestly can see him having a better NFL career than the other two just because of the way he plays his game in the pocket. He can throw the ball. He's got a cannon. 47-8 touchdowns to interceptions, over 70% in the completion percentage as well. He only had 4 rushing touchdowns, and he didn't have many rushing yards at all, but he has a successful arm. And what's the end goal? Maybe not for Kyler Murray, but for these players, they want to get to the NFL, right? I think Dwayne Haskins, at the end of the day, has the highest ceiling, if you will, for the style of play in the National Football League. Do I think they got it right? Sure. I mean, you can look at all 3 of these players, and they all had phenomenal seasons. And I respect everything they all did. If you were asking me who I thought should have won it, I might have leaned towards Tua, but I'm not upset at all with Kyler Murray because you just look at the most effective offense in the entire college football in the nation, and he was the leader of that. Now that I have my own sports show and I cover sports at a high level, this has been my favorite football season for college that I could remember. Not only did I watch way more games, I broke down more film, I studied players, and it adds value to things of this nature where the top player in the country is now getting picked because I studied the game at such a different caliber because I do the show. And I think that these 3 finalists were the top 3. I was very happy to see them be successful this season. I was happy to watch them go out on that field and carry each of their respected teams to big-time moments, to big games. I saw their ups and downs, and, well, I guess for Alabama there wasn't really many downs, but I watched them fight back against teams that they should have killed. I watched them kill teams. And, I believe that these three men carry themselves very well. I'm happy with Kyler Murray as the Heisman winner. He had a season to remember, and let's be real, he's wanting more. He's going back home satisfied, but not satisfied yet, because what he wants to bring home is the real hardware, the national championship, and so does Tua. Now, sadly, Dwayne Haskins doesn't have that opportunity. But we still got a lot to go forward here for the college football season. We got the bowl games, the semifinals, the national championship. I'm excited. Congratulations to these finalists, but especially Kyler Murray for bringing home the Heisman. Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with it? Do you think Tua should have won? Are you a Dwayne Haskins guy? Let me know. See you next time.